Shalom. Call Holo Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahushai, Bahashem, Raha HaKadash. Double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone. Peace and salutations to the hopeful elect scattered throughout the four corners of the globe. My name is Barad Ball, coming to you from the GMS campus, Indianapolis. And to all those listening and learning to you, I say Shalom. Especially to you so-called blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians that make up the 12 tribes of Israel. The title of this is pretty much inspired by the apostle Tahar. Um, Babylon is not our rest, and Babylon was never meant to be our rest. And so I have a few scriptures that I'm gonna go into. Very short video, very short lesson, but just proving, that um, this was a place for us to serve our captivity. That the Lord, through the prophecies that were given unto many of the prophets, that we would be scattered into many lands, and in the lands in which we would be scattered, um, we would be at the bottom. We would be the poor of the people, downtrodden. And I'm gonna hit play on the video just to hear that portion. Pull out a few scriptures. Very short video, but again, hopefully it is edifying to the body. But do understand that we do have a place of true rest soon to come. Here we go.
GMS grumpy men shouting, which that's in the scriptures. You know, the scripture says in Ecclesiastes, um, oppression maketh a wise man mad. So you're not supposed to be happy with Babylon the Great was not built for comfort. Babylon, that's a topic right there. Babylon the Great was not built for comfort. I'm not supposed to be happy.
So that's what I'm going on. Babylon the Great was not built for comfort, and as those who are in the know, in the truth of the scriptures, the doctrine, true doctrine of Yahweh Bashim Yahushai, we understand many things. One of which is the book of Baruch, chapter 3, verse 8. It says, "Behold, one moment. It says, Behold, we are yet this day in our captivity, where thou hast scattered us for a reproach and a curse to be subject to payments." Now, who, when you look at the time of even Baruch and fast forward it now, the Israelites have been in many different captivities and been in servitude. So, in this current present time, we are in our servitude, and with all the things that are going on, the death, bloodshed, um, we're still a reproach to all the nations. We looked at as the lowest, all right, um, of the low, and we're still subject to payments. And it says, according to all the iniquities of our fathers, which departed from the Lord our power. So we have, we still have to pay for water. We still, you got men being put on child support. You got a video where a woman, um, where that came out, and this is one of many stories, of course. This is just one that came out, but you have a video of a woman who was married, had 3 kids. She had 3 kids, and the husband wasn't the father of none of the three. And of course, as a result, when he finds out, he goes to her workplace, and she's still alive, but he um, pretty much shot her and pistol whipped her. And so we have things like that to look forward to, in this life, where your woman is not in order, where um, when you go out, you can't actually go get a really good bite to eat seriously. or to drink with the food and everything polluted. And if things are going well at home, then you have things dealing with work. And if things are going well at work and home, then you have situations that may be going with um, within your body, physically, mentally. All right. So here's the scripture. This is the book of Micah, chapter 2, verse 10. It says, "Rise ye and depart, for this is not your rest. It is polluted. It shall destroy you, even with the sword destruction." Yeah, because the only comfort we're gonna ever find is through Yahweh Bashim Yahweh Shai. This is the only way that we're able to get through um, this world that is that leads everyone to the place of death. You have people who currently who have worked for several years, gotten into retirement age, upwards in their 80s, and they're working and they're still working to make ends meet. They're still working. They're greeters at Walmart and Meyer and working different jobs at Target. You know, when they should actually be in a place where they're rested on vacations or having their grandchildren sitting around them. You even have, this world. I did a video, I actually just posted it, but I did a video um, where it went into just having joy in your children. You can't even have a full joy in the rearing of your children. And then when they go out into the world, they're being influenced by, uh, they're being influenced and many things thrown at them that you could actually even uh, combat, whether it be on their phones now, computers, they're in school amongst some friends, some not, teachers that have many different ways and lifestyles, and so then they come back home and they're with you for probably about an hour or so at the dinner table, even if you do eat dinner. And it's something because like what I'm actually saying and expressing at the current moment would sound like someone like Apostle the elder Apostle Tahar mentioned. He says for wisdom or for oppression making a wise man mad, because these are very forms of oppression. How the system has created all these things uh, where it pretty much keeps you into a box, you know, and why he had mentioned that, the prophets of old and those are now would be grumpy. How it says that we seldom, that we seldom smile. Yeah, we have moments where we're smile, laugh, have a brief good time, but then we go right back into the thought of needing something and wanting something better, like the elder Ariala in Dallas. He says having that kingdom mind. See, some people are comfortable with the servitude, with being at the bottom, having that hood mentality, having that being in the ghetto, live here, die here mentality. But the elect are looking for something much greater than this. This is the book of this is the book of let's get this one, Daniel chapter 7 verse 25, kind of going into um, you know what I mentioned before. Esau, Edom, so-called white man, his system is always creating things and doing things, even to this very day. Different licenses to have. You can't grow things in your yard. They have HOAs where you got to pay, and they tie your hands as far as what you can do at your own house. That doesn't give you a sign of freedom. It says Daniel chapter 7 verse 25. It says, "And he shall speak great words against the Most High, and shall wear out the saints of the Most High, and shall think to change signs and laws, and they shall be given into his hands until a time and the times and the dividing of time." So there's a time period which it's almost up, and if you've been listening to the apostles, the elders, the great millstone, you understand that the earth has been given into the hand of the wicked. Esau, Edom, so-called white man, and that he has done such things. Changing times and seasons. You know how one thing come to mind is how they spring forward, spring back, as far as time, um, setting different laws. They're even currently setting laws, draconian laws, unrighteous decrees. You've heard us mention these things all the time, and because he has the power in his hand, you know, he does these things, and his ways are grievous, and I'm going to get that, and because of it, it's wearing out the saints who are the Israelites. It's wearing out the people, and he's going against, and by him going against nature, by the way he's doing the GMO seeding and um, the seeding of the clouds, um, thinking that he um, putting himself as the Most High. You know, he speaks and through his actions show himself going against the Most High every day, and the Lord is he's mad at the wicked every day, and he's going to do um, he's going to bring a great destruction for all the things. He's just again continuously allowing him to build his tab, as we say, and then that payment is going to come. This is the book of Psalms, uh, chapter 10, verse 4. The point is in 5. It says, "The wicked through the pride of his countenance will not seek after the Most High," and that's what we're just going into, because he's doing all these things and he thinks it's really his power, but the Lord is just allowing him to run his course till he gets to that bound that he cannot pass. All right, he does have a time period that's going to soon expire. It says, "Will not seek after the Most High." The Most High is not in all his thoughts. So everything, when all these disasters come back in the past, I've been scrolling through, these last few years, and I can attest, and I know I'm pretty sure many other brothers um, can attest, when these natural disasters has happened, and when these people have stood up, when there's been mass shootings and deaths, I've not seen many. They may say our prayers go out, but it's rare, very, very few, very, very rare that you see them actually give acknowledgement to the ones in power. I'm not even gonna say. I'm just gonna really stand on that they don't, because just even saying, "Oh, our thoughts and our prayers," that's really your thoughts, your prayers. You're not praying to the Lord for systems to be better, which we understand. You're the devil that the Bible speaks of. We're not expecting you to, but this is just a sign, an indication as to their thoughts. The Most High is not in their thoughts, and all the things that they do, their legislation, their laws that they're putting forth, they're not thinking of the Bible. They're not thinking about how the Lord would do. So this is how you can tell that they're very hypocritical. In one turn, they're talking about YouTube, things in YouTube, making changes because for the children, but at the same time, you have hundreds and thousands of children going missing, every year. You have the Epstein situation that supposedly dealt with young children, but nobody's in high government pushed this thing out. But you taking YouTube, and even through YouTube, all the evil, adultery, and wickedness that they allow to play is very hypocritical. So it's shown again to the righteous that the Most High is not in the thoughts of these people. And so, of course, we're going to be grumpy. Of course, we're going to not feel comfortable in a land filled with wickedness, where you can say everybody can be who they want to be, but the moment we stand out and we say that we are the Israelites that the Bible speaks of, and we can prove it, now we become enemies, higher enemies than the KKK. Next verse. It says, his ways are always grievous. So what, you just want everyone to just continuously bend over and take it? To lay down on the ground and you just continue to step over them and just take it? And then you try to use the God is love, all love and love. We shouldn't hate, but at the same time, you're hit through the hypocrisy of thou should not hate. We're still finding um, Jake truckers and Israelites being hung and in the street. So um, it says, "Thy judgments are far above out of his sight. As for all his enemies, he puffeth at them." So he's super proud. Like, he thinks himself to be better even than those of his own people, the higher elite. Started with the Amalekites, the ones who claim to be the people, the ones who are actually um, the cause, a big cause of Gaza having the famine. I just seen a video. They were saying a young man at 10 years old just received food. I didn't see the full video, but it was just a clip. I read it said young man receiving food right after receiving his food was he was shot down. He was only 10 years old. Now they're talking about how they're planning to take over that land. Well, prior to, Trump had already been speaking about how he was going to build a resort. There was a plan to build a resort of sorts in that area. So it's not surprising. Anyway, um, this is we'll end with this. This is the book of Matthew, chapter 11, verses 28 through 30. And where do we really find comfort? Through these scriptures, right? So yeah, we see all these things and we speak of these things, but we know overall um, that there's nothing in our power that we can do to get us out of this situation, but call on the name of Yahweh, Ba'ashim Yahushai, and wait on the Lord until He rise up upon the prey. So we're just the watchmen. We're watching. We're calling out to the Lord. We're crying out, and we're you know giving out the grievances. You know, and it says, "Come unto me, all ye that are that labor and are heavy laden, and I will give you rest." It starts off with our mind, giving us that comfort through the scriptures. Eventually, Lord willing, this knowledge, wisdom, understanding will lead us to a kingdom where we'll be resting upon our beds, and the heathen and all these other nations will be tributaries unto us and our children. It says, "Take my yoke upon you and learn of me, for I am meek and lowly in heart, and ye shall find rest unto your souls." So we're to learn of Yahweh Bashim Yahushai, keeping of the commandments to the best of our ability while we're in this flesh, in the entire book of Yahweh Bashim Yahushai. Just for my yoke is easy and my burden is light, because the things that he's asking us to do is so much easier than following a nation who only wants to continuously oppress and crush you, uh, like it says in the system. I mean, like you've been saying, can you squeeze juice out of a turnip? And if they could, they would do it, and that you would be that turnip. So I hope that this lesson was edifying, uplifting, exhorting to some sort to the elect body of true believers. Before I end, I like to give all praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahashim, Yahweh Shai, Bahashim, Raha HaKadash. Double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone. Peace and salutations to the hopeful elect scattered throughout the four corners of the globe. Till next time, all those listening and learning to you, I say, Shalom.